Hey sis, welcome back to the channel. If you are not subscribed, stop right now. Why are you not a part of the Sussterhood? Subscribe, hit that little bell so you get a notification first when I upload a new video. Drum roll, we have a special guest. It's husband. It's my husband. This is my husband Hosea, and he's gonna be our special guest today on Real Sister. So I pulled Hosea in for a video, and I have about 10 questions about marriage, and we're just going to kind of have a little conversation with you guys, answer the questions and kind of give our feedback, and you guys can get to know us a little bit. This is a part of the family, part of the channel, and we'll go forth. Hope our prayer is that something that we say today encourages a single, and also something that we say today encourages a married couple. All right, we're going to jump right into it. You ready, babe?
I was born ready.
All right. So the first question is simple. How did we meet?
How do we meet? Well, if I remember correctly, I was driving down the street and you jumped in the middle of the road.
Boy, that's not the truth.
We met at the club.
What? Okay. So we met at the club, and that's how you...
We met at the club.
And that's how you... That's your synopsis of it?
At the club. I think Juvenile was playing in the background.
I knew you was going to be doing all this, baby.
No, we met at it was a college step show, the March Down, I think, what was it, SIUE or C, one of the SIU schools. And it was the after party at Blackman's Plaza. Yeah.
So we did meet at the club, but it was an after party of a college event. Let's clear
the club. Y'all know Blackman's. Blackman's the club, no matter what's going on.
All right. So a second part of that question is who approached who? He approached me.
Obviously.
Obviously what?
Obviously you approached me because
That's not the...
that guy.
He approached me.
Yeah, I guess I approached you. I don't know.
What do you mean you guessed?
I guess.
That's what happened.
So what happened then?
We did. He is correct. So we did. All that first stuff he said was not correct. I don't know where he got that from. But we did meet after the March Down. So we went to the March Down. After that, we went to the after party. We did meet each other at the actual event. So he is correct that we met at the club. And he approached me. I was looking good in my purple sweater, my purple turtleneck sweater.
Right. I approached you because you was looking.
Looking what? He approached me. Next question. All right, so well, I guess before we go on, we can just say a little bit about us. So we have been married for 8 years. Our anniversary was just April 4th. Let's see, we have 3 beautiful children, Taylor, Hosea, and Dallas. And we have been dating each other since we were 19 years old. That's good. You want to add something?
That's good.
Okay. So the next question is, who said I love you first?
I actually don't know. Right. I don't remember.
Okay, so a little backstory. Again, we met each other when we were young. And so we started talking to each other, and then I wouldn't say that we stopped talking to each other, but it kind of like phased out a little bit. And then so I got drunk and I was in the club one day, BC, before Christ. And I was just kind of expressing to my friend Simone that I was like in love with Hosea. So I didn't tell Hosea first, but I was expressing that I was in love with Hosea. And so Simone, being Simone, encouraged me to call him and tell him. So I called him from the club. I was in the loft and I was telling Hosea, you know, like all these feelings that I had for him. And he told me that he loved me, but he could not pursue a relationship with me because he was in a relationship with another girl and he wanted to pursue that. And he wanted to be, you know, respectful to her. And I was crushed in the club. So he told me that he loved me first, but he broke my heart at the same time.
I guess.
That's the truth.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Sure.
You don't remember? And the bad part about it is he went with this girl for like a day. How long?
I don't know. I don't have any exes, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Moving on. So the next question is, when did you know that he, or I guess she, was the one? You want to go first with me?
I guess, I don't know, I'll speak in general. But for guys, I think guys always kind of know the type of woman that they want to marry or pursue. We have these boxes that, we check off, whatever, however you want to say it. And I knew that the type of person that I wanted to marry had these certain qualities and abilities and gifts and certain things. And I knew that once I got to know you to a certain point, that once you checked off all of those boxes, I was like, oh yeah, that's the person I could marry.
I guess for me, it was just seeing how much that he poured into me and Taylor, because like I said, we went through a point where we kind of weren't serious about each other, but once we got serious, just seeing how much he poured into me and Taylor really made me know, like, okay, like this is the one, this is the guy that I want to marry, because he made sure that we felt like a family already, even though we weren't married. And so that, and then also his family, my family, like especially his family, like they really made me feel a part of the family. It was just like, I never felt like I was a stranger. I always felt loved. I always felt, wanted. And Hosea made sure that that was the feeling. So I started to feel like, wait a minute, this is my family. This feels like home. And so once I had that feeling, I was just like, yeah, Hosea is going to be my husband. So the next question is, did you pray about your spouse, or did you pray ask God, was this a spouse, or about getting married?
Yeah, I mean, that was always a prayer of mine. And then once it, became more realistic, then yeah, we buckled down, and me and Big G, that's what I call it. Big G, that's my
And he
dog.
said, you better go get Sarah.
Yeah.
He who find. You the found her.
Yeah. Big G, that's my dog.
So yes, definitely. Once like I said, I felt that feeling. I was just like, also praying that nothing would get in the way of, because like I said, I felt like at first that we were not serious. So I began to pray that we remain serious, that we remain established and kept evolving to what God ultimately wanted us to be, which was married. So this is a good one, babe. It says, what's your best memory so far? Thus far in a relationship, your best memory.
I don't know. It's 8+ years of relationship, but the wedding was cool.
When you cried, but you said it was pollen.
It was allergies. I got
Your
allergies.
wedding was inside.
Pollen is not just inside; it's dust in the air. I don't know. Family vacations, cool. When Taylor asked when her little brother was born, if it didn't work out, if she could return him for a sister, I thought that
is a good one. Let me think. Family vacations is a good one. We've had some good vacations. I'm trying to see what it's like. I remember it was my birthday one time, and we were down at the Lumiere. We had a room there, right? Mm-hmm. And then I got surprise tickets to see Brandy, and she was like, that was a good memory. Like, it was like so cool how it all happened, and when we went to go see Brandy, and it was like a really good show. So that was a good memory, and of course like the wedding and stuff, and just having the kids. Like, it's just a good memory. Like, to Hosea has always been there. Like, he's a great father. So even every day, just seeing how he interacts and stuff with the children and me is great.
For sure.
I might say that one. Let's see.
That's a page 2. Damn.
I told you how many questions this was. They're all short. We're almost done. So the next one, babe, is, what's your biggest pet peeve of mine?
Your closet.
What?
Your closet.
Why did you say your closet?
Because I saw your clothes in there. My clothes ain't in there. Yours are.
A little side note. I thought when we did this video, y'all, he was gonna talk about how I pushed the toothpaste from the top.
Yeah, that's the one too.
And not the bottom. And so I pushed the toothpaste all the way at the top. Yeah. So he can't use that. Yeah. I do have a lot of clothes, and our closet is a mess. Like, you can't even walk in there.
Her closet is a mess.
But
her closet.
That's our closet. I just have a lot of stuff, and we need a bigger closet. It is a walk-in closet too, but we're working on it. I guess it's my turn. Biggest pet peeve.
you don't have any because I'm perfect.
Oh, boy, I do have some.
Bruh.
I guess it's the biggest pet peeve is sometimes he leaves like his gym bag and shoes and ball
In the basement?
in the basketball. No, right here. And I'm looking at it right on his door. And sometimes I'm going up and down the steps and I almost fall over it. And I'm just like...
That sounds like a PP to me.
I'm just like... if you're gonna, like, it literally, like, our house is like a split level. So you either go down or you come up, you come in the door. I just feel like that he's going down to the basement anyway because he always makes sure that he washes his stuff from the gym. So I don't understand why he leaves the bag right there when he's already going down. He could just take the bag all the way down.
Because you never know when the game about to jump off. You got to grab the bag real quick like Superman and head out the door. So I'm just...
Well, your wife, like, literally almost falls over that, especially if I'm carrying laundry or something. You know, all those clothes you're talking about?
I do the laundry.
Oh, my God. Next question. Okay, since you said pet peeve, let's do this one. Favorite thing about your spouse?
You cool or whatever. You have a very sweet spirit and kind demeanor. And it's very, just an easy, light spirit, and that's a plus in today when you're going through stuff. You got crazy folk at work, crazy folk outside the house, your kids doing everything. It's always nice to have someone who has a nice, sweet demeanor about them that kind of lightens the load. So
that was a good one, babe. Okay. My favorite thing about you. My favorite thing about Hosea is how calm he is. Like, I feel like that it can be like a crazy storm in our life, and even I could be affected, like my emotions could be affected by that storm, but his is never. So I always feel like Hosea is just like the place where I can find like that comfort and safety because he's always so calm. Like, no matter what we go through, no matter what's happening around us, like, he's always going to be calm. And so that calmness always turns into like encouragement for me that everything's going to work out, everything's going to be okay, and he's always going to be here. Let's see. Now we got two more, babe. So the next one is your most valuable lesson you learned in marriage so far.
I should study for these questions. I don't know. You go.
My most valuable lesson, I think, is for a woman is to not assume that Hosea knows my feelings. To make sure that I effectively communicate those. And I mean effectively, not like being messy, being argumentative, being mean, like effectively just taking a moment and say, hey, I didn't like when you said that, or hey, when you did this didn't make me feel good. Like, just trying to like not assume that he always knows how I feel. Because I think sometimes that as women, we expect our spouse to just know. If I'm quiet, you should know I'm mad. If I'm quiet, you should know. But no, he might think I'm just quiet, or maybe I'm doing other stuff, but he needs to like know, and I need to effectively communicate. Like, one thing that the Holy Spirit has told me, like in chastisement, is that I communicate with Hosea out my emotions, and that Hosea doesn't receive that because sometimes it does seem like an attack versus me like effectively communicating with him and just sitting him down. Like, I'm not trying to attack you with my words. I'm just saying that this hurt me in a way.
That's good, because I'm a very emotional person.
You are not.
See. I guess kind of along those lines, I remember when I first saw or heard, I think I saw, might have been even Steve Harvey, talk about the 5 love languages, the book and all of that stuff. And I kind of got a revelation there that I'm a very nonchalant, kind of even-keeled person at all times. Like, I'm really happy right now.
He really is. He's having a good day.
But the 5 love languages kind of revealed to me that, people receive love differently. So while I kind of internalize certain things a certain way, somebody else, my spouse, may internalize things differently. And that kind of revealed to me that, okay, maybe I do need to kind of get out of how I feel about things, or the fact that I am very nonchalant, that doesn't mean that my attitude towards things is the only attitude towards things, and that it's okay to open up or have conversations or allow somebody to be their interpretation of emotion, show their interpretation of emotion over certain things, and that's completely okay. And how they receive love along those lines, and how they receive love can be different than mine, because I'm not a very you gotta buy me gifts. I'm not a receiver of gifts. That's not a love language of mine. But that doesn't mean that my wife isn't, and that doesn't make either of us right or wrong. That's just how we interpret the act of love, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. So.
Yeah, it does make sense. That's really good.
All right, then.
The last one, that was kind of really good what you said. The last one is a word of advice for couples.
Word of advice is be true to who you are and the things that you value. And what I mean by that is, I'm not on social media now because for me, it became kind of toxic in all the different conversations. But one of the big conversations that was getting on my nerves a lot is the plight or the idea of what a man is supposed to be, what a woman is supposed to be with regards to a marriage, a husband and wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. And my thing is like, whatever makes your relationship work is what makes your relationship work. Prime example. I see guys all the time talk about how a woman's supposed to cook, clean, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if that's your thing, fine, albeit. But in our household, I prefer to cook because I like cooking. And my wife is fine with that. I'm good with that. I don't belittle her because, she can cook meals. Don't get me wrong. My wife isn't, she don't have nubs for hands, but it's just something that most of the time I prefer to do. And that helps, that works in our relationship. Certain things like I would use others that I've seen. Some guys don't require their wife to work. Some guys will work 4 or 5 jobs before they allow their wife to work. Some people feel like both, people should have a job and contribute financially to a relationship. Whatever it is that you find important, there is somebody else that will match up with that. So don't bend over backwards and change who you are about yourself to date somebody and marry somebody, because marriage is for life. And if you find yourself doing something that you're not happy with in year 1, it don't get better in year 30, in year 40, or year 50, or however long you stay married. So whatever it is that you value, if they don't value that, somebody else will. And I think that's what, when we talk about the term being equally yoked about something, that spiritually it's important, but also in the natural it's important too, to be equally yoked with somebody and align yourself with somebody that is strong in the areas where you're weak, and vice versa.
That's good.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I guess mine would be, let's see. I guess I would say for you to be flexible, because I feel like in a relationship or a marriage, like, we are evolving people, so we're always going to change. Me and Hosea are not the same Hosea and Sarah that we were at 19 that we are now.
I'm 21.
Well, he's not. So I feel like that, you have to be able to know, to be patient and flexible, to know that your spouse is not going to always be that same person, that they're evolving, different experiences are happening, so that kind of accounts for who they become. So I think that you have to be, flexible, and also just patient, and have a strong prayer life. Like, I feel like that marriage is a spiritual institution that God has placed together, and in order to, make sure that it's covered, you have to give it back to who created it. So you have to make sure that you have a good prayer life and that you're flexible, because like I said, things are always changing. Because I feel like sometimes, like, it might be like, oh, we don't spend as much time together anymore. But me and Hosea, now, we're not 19 anymore. We have a whole family. We have 3 children now. We both have jobs. Like, Hosea has stuff that he likes to do. He's not leaving me out here to sneeze. But he has hobbies and stuff that he likes to do. I have stuff that I like to do. We have friends, like family members on both sides. So there's always something that's happening that it changes our dynamic, but we just have to be flexible to know that we're still going to make sure that we do whatever to sustain us.
Word.
And pray. Lots of prayer.
Agreed.
But that is all our questions. We pray again that something that we said encouraged you. We pray that you got to laugh and you got to get to know us a little bit. We love each other, even though he's not smiling, guys.
I'm
He's
smiling on the
at you.
inside.
All right, bye, sis.